This is a wonderful, wonderful night of music. Peter, Paul, and Mary, Bob Dylan, and the incredible Richie Havens. Come on.
And I didn't know that.
Hey, look yonder, tell me what's that you see. Lighten up the phones of WHRO. See, that's what I'm talking about here. Oh, God.
Folks, we have some great thank you gifts tonight. At the $75 level, you can get the DVD of this very program without Jim playing his music, but maybe we can add that for a little bonus. At the next level, we got at the $150 level, you can get a 6-CD collection of great folk music from this generation, and the list is so long we don't want to go into all that. And you can get even a higher level, $250. You can get the DVD, the 6-CD collection, and a bonus CD of great folk music from the 60s, all possible for you. And what's going to be very popular tonight, and you're going to want to rush because the show is in 2 days. September 16th at 8 o'clock at the Sandler, the Kingston Trio come to town. So if you want a pair of tickets to see the Kingston Trio, I think it's a pair of tickets. Yeah. Pair of tickets to the Kingston Trio, call 889-9476. We got the volunteers standing by waiting for those phones to start ringing. 1-800-940-7170 is that number, and you can get your Kingston Trio tickets or the DVD or the CDs.
And you know, it's fascinating to me because we were talking earlier. Okay, at $75 you get the DVD of the show, right?
Right.
Okay, at $150 you get a six CD set of great music from the folk era, which is the early to mid 60s. And then that bonus, if you go to $250, the bonus CD is really folk rock. I mean, they're not calling it that, but it really is, because it's stuff like a Rolling Stone, Dylan, When He Went Electric. It's the Turtles, It Ain't Me, Babe. It's Barry McGuire's Eve of Destruction. It's Buffalo Springfield doing For What It's Worth. It's Jefferson Airplane. It's all that stuff that kind of, as the folkies went into rock and roll. So it really is, the $250 is the thing to do if you can. If your budget will allow it, then you should do it at that. But whatever point works for you, the important thing is that you're stepping up and you're telling the Grand Poobah, who I have next to me here at WHRO, that we love this great acoustic music, this great folk music, this great meaningful music, and we're willing to put our money where our viewing habits are.
Now, Jim, I've known you for about 4 years since I moved to town here, and you've been obviously here for the station for a long time, but I didn't know this about you, that you actually lived in Greenwich Village for a while and did your guitar thing.
True.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, from 78 and 79, I was living in Greenwich Village and playing a lot on street corners. And taking my demo tapes around to record companies and getting a long list of rejection letters.
Well,
because
hey,
I was trying.
World, right?
It's funny. I was trying to be Bob Dylan, and actually, what was happening in New York at the time was punk. So it's like, Jim, where you been, man? You're a few years late, but you know, I've always been a little out of time and happy to be. But yes, I was there, and so when we see these things, you know, like Washington Park and stuff in D.C., I mean, in New York, it's so cool because it takes me back. You know.
And I lived there, but I lived there in the late 80s.
But you lived there, so you know all these places. That's what's interesting.
And I don't think I had an appreciation for this music history then. As you watch the program, you see all this great music that was started on the streets and then kind of grew, and at the time I don't think they even realized how cool an era they were living in, being there in the village.
Of course not. But
now you look back, you know, 40 some odd years later and say, wow, what a neat era that was, and all this great music. And this music can be yours when you call and talk to the volunteers. We got great volunteers here tonight. You call 889-9476 and tell them you want to support not only this great music, but WHRO in general. Remember, we are your local public TV station, and we are only made possible because of the public. That's what makes us public television. 20,000 families have called in with their support, and they are members. If you're one of them, we say thank you very much. But if you aren't one of those folks, you see Jim out there playing his guitar, you see me floating around, and you say, I'm going to do it. I saw you guys on TV, but I haven't quite done it yet. Well, we can make it very easy for you. And now some of you may want to go ahead and make your pledge online. Lots of people are doing that as well. We can make it possible for you to go online and make your contribution. In fact, we're finding more and more every campaign, more people go online. So if you want to go online, here's some information about that.
Fall into the arts with WHRO. We'll take you around Hampton Roads in music, comedy, and performance. And when you point, click, and contribute at WHRO.org, you'll be entered in a drawing for tickets to some of the most incredible performances in our area. Celebrate the arts with us on TV, on radio, and on the web. One lucky winner will receive tickets to all 9 fantastic events, from Aida to Blue Man Group. It's an entire year of entertainment.
Phones are going pretty nice. That's good.
I like it. I like hearing the sound of ringing phones because I love the sound of music, but when I'm here at WHRO, I want to hear the sound of multiple harmonic phones ringing.
There you go.
You know, we could do the Simon and Garfunkel of phones if we can get 2 going, or if we can get 3, it's the Crosby, Stills and Nash, or Peter, Paul and Mary.
Or the Kingston Trio.
Or the Kingston Trio of phones. Or if we can go to 4, we can get the Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, or the Mamas and the Papas of phones. Or let's go to 5 and we can get the Byrds of phones. I mean, you can go forever.
I'm not even going any
further. And you can just make it happen. But it really is cool, like listening to Bob Dylan at the Newport Folk Festival singing Blowin' in the Wind with all those other folks behind him. I mean, it's hard for, at this point, probably if you weren't around then, it's hard to even imagine that that's the way it was. And that communal feeling and that loving feeling and all. Imagine being in New York City 48 years ago and hanging out down there, and you know, this little scruffy kid comes in and says, hey, I just wrote a new song, listen to this, you know, and it's how many roads must a man walk down? It's, that would blow your mind. And as I say, I mentioned earlier, Noel Paul Stuckey is a friend of mine, and he's talked about hearing Dylan for the first time singing some of those songs, and he was just like, my gosh, this guy is from another world.
See, I always wondered. I wondered if being there for the first time, you might not even have an appreciation for the history until you look back now and say, wow, those first years of Dylan and all these great musicians. Now we can have that appreciation for the legends that they all are. Yeah. But to be there that first time and to see it, I wonder how many times it just passes over you, but that's great to hear.
Well, I mean, it's interesting because Noel did say the first time he heard Dylan sing, he said, you know, or sing some of his own music, he said, you know, these are songs that have not been written. I mean, it's a new thing. And of course, they helped to bring Dylan to popular attention by singing stuff like "Blowin' in the Wind" and doing it with their harmonies.
Right.
And it made it palatable, you know, to the public. And what's interesting in this, both the show that we're watching here and in the accompanying DVD and that 6 CD set, is to hear the development of the music and to see what it meant at the time, and really how it's held up today, because these songs have become the soundtrack of the world, really.
Well, of that generation, you can hear the words meant so much.
Yes.
You know, sometimes today's music, the words don't mean quite as much as they did back then, and some of the turbulent times. Yeah, some of the times. So, folks, you can see our director is trying to get us to talk a little bit about the thank you
WHRO,
gifts. So we will do that. You saw the great thank you gifts. I want to really highlight the Kingston Trio. They're going to be here this Friday, the 8th, at Sandler Center in Virginia Beach. So if you'd like to get that pair of tickets to see the Kingston Trio, you're going to want to call in now, because we're not offering this after this show's over. That's it. So Kingston Trio, $120. You support the station, plus you get those pair of tickets. And have you ever seen the Kingston Trio?
I have, yes.
I have not had the pleasure. So if I was in town, I'd be going to see them this Friday. So
actually, you know, and these guys, you know, this is not like the original guys, you know, but these guys have the incredible sound, and they really do. It's amazing how much they sound like the Kingston Trio that you listened to if you were around in the late 50s and early 60s when they were doing all those great songs, Tom Dooley and you know, did he ever return? No, he never returned. You know, and all the, I mean, really, and the Greenback Dollar and all that stuff. It's a great way to reappreciate an era and music that has held up so well.
Well, let's hear a little bit of music. I'm going to go say hi to some of the volunteers over there.
We got to make our calls to WHRO. Gotta make that pledge tonight. Gonna make the world feel better for all. Gonna turn on that public broadcasting light.
You know, it's really so easy to pitch with Jim Newsom because just let him sing and you're good to go. But folks, I'm in the phone bank. You can see phone operators are very busy, so if you're having a hard time getting through, keep trying. 889-9476 is that number. And again, we've got the DVD at $75. We've got the 6 CD music collection at the $150 level. We've got that bonus pack at the $150. And we got the Kingston Trio at $120. And that Kingston Trio show is in 2 days. This Friday, 8 o'clock, Sandler Center out in Virginia Beach. Make those calls. Let's get every single phone here rocking right now, because we're going to be going back to music in just a few minutes. But we want to make sure that every phone is rocking. This is the night that we are going to break some records tonight. I have a feeling that we're going to get so many people calling in to show their love for WHRO, to show their love for folk music. Folks, how many places on the dial can you find folk music anymore? And we're committing this evening to folk music. What a great opportunity. And it's because folks in Hampton Roads tell us, you know, we love this kind of programming. Please bring it back. And we are your local station, so we listen to our viewers, we listen to our members, and we bring you these kind of great programs. And we have these great volunteers with us all night long, helping answer answer the phone. So 889-9476, as I hear Jim playing some more music. Play it, Jim.
Well, don't you hang down your head, Tom Dooley, hang down your head and cry. If you don't make a place at WHRO, baby, you are sure gonna cry. You gotta hang down your head, Bert Schmidt, hang down your head, but don't cry, 'cause all your folks out in Hampton Roads are calling in tonight.
It's so easy with him.
We want to hear from you tonight, really. If you love this music, and I know a lot of you do because you come up to me on the street and say, when are you going to bring back some great acoustic music? Well, we're doing it tonight just for you. Now, coming up in the next segment, Tom Paxton. Man, he has been around here a few times. I am telling you, unbelievable music. And the Love and Spoonful, John Sebastian's band, you know, You and Me and Rain on the Roof, and all those great songs that Love and Spoonful did.
I previewed the show last night, and it was so fun to just watch through this whole show and all this great music. If you love folk music, you're in for a treat this whole evening. We're going to go right back to the show. Some great music. You've had some great music. You're going to get even, frankly, better music coming up. So, folks, stay with us all night. 889-9476 are the numbers to call. We're going to be here. Phone banks are going. We got great music in the studio, great music on the air. Everything's going on here at WHRO. Give us a call and support us.